It is with great pleasure that we would like to welcome Mr. Sanjaya Bandara, the President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Sri Lanka, CA Sri Lanka, as the chief guest of this event. Mr. Sanjaya Bandara is the 26th President of CA Sri Lanka and has been a council member since 2012. In 2020-21, he was also the Institute's Vice President. Mr. Sanjaya Bandara is currently the partner of B.R. De Silva and Company, a Nexia International member firm with over 23 years of professional experience. Mr. Sanjaya Bandara, the 26th President of CA Sri Lanka, has been a council member of CA Sri Lanka since 2012, and in 2020-21, he was the Institute's Vice President, and currently, I think we repeated, the President of CA Sri Lanka. He has significantly contributed to the accounting profession on a local, regional, and international scale. He is a member of the Board of Confederation of Asian and Pacific Accountants and South Asian Federation of Accountants. In addition to that, he is chairing various committees at CA Sri Lanka and the South Asian Federation of Accountants. Mr. Sanjaya Bandara is a member of SAFA's Committee on Auditing Standards and Quality Control and Committee of Education, Training and CPD. He is also a member of the Governing Council of the University of Kelaniya, a board member of the Sri Lankan Accounting and Auditing Standards Monitoring Board, and a Commissioner of Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka. Further, he is a member of the Stakeholder Engagement in Consultative Committee of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka and was also a member of the Council of Association of Accounting Technicians of Sri Lanka. Mr. Sanjaya Bandara is a regular presenter at seminars and workshops on Sri Lankan accounting standards and Sri Lanka auditing standards. He was also involved in training accountants in the South Asian region on the application of international financial reporting standards. Mr. Bandara holds a BSc Accountancy special degree from University of Sri Jawadhanapura as well as an MBA from University of Colombo. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Sri Lanka and associate member of the Chartered Management Institute of Sri Lanka. He is a director of Prime Lands Residencies PLC, Abans Finance PLC, and CL Synergy PLC. He was also the chairman of Mercantile Investment and Finance PLC. I now invite Mr. Sanjaya Bandara to deliver the convocation address.
Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Chancellor of our SLIIT campus, Professor Lalit Gamage, Vice Chancellor of the campus, Deans, Heads of the department, professors, doctors, and other academic staff, distinguished invitees, graduates, their parents, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all of you. Congratulations to all graduates who are conferred with degrees in business administration, engineering, and masters of business administration in this beautiful evening today. Perhaps today must be the happiest day in your life. I strongly believe that today is definitely the happiest day of the life of your parents, because they've been tirelessly working during the last 20 plus years to see that you all will be securing globally recognized academic qualification in a day like this. So therefore, you all should celebrate your success together with your parents, lecturers, and your family members, and all others who supported for you all to secure this globally recognized academic qualification. During the last 3 years, all Sri Lankans had to face many challenges, starting with pandemic and connected issues, and then the recession, inflation, power cut, fuel shortage, and whatnot. All of you had to continue your education with many other challenges because all your lectures were converted into online lectures. All your examinations were converted into virtual examinations. So you all had to continue your education with many challenges, such as issues connected with availability of data, and then power cuts, and then issues connected with the electronic devices, etc. But you all have been very focused, dedicated on your studies. That focus, that dedication, that enthusiasm have secured you all to acquire globally recognized academic qualification today in this evening. Therefore, I should appreciate each and every one of you for your perseverance during the last 2 years. Of course, each and every one of you deserve a recognition. The degree from SLIIT campus is a global passport for you. I strongly believe that you can secure good employment in anywhere in the world with this academic qualification. But again, I would like to draw your attention to 3 important matters, 3 important points. First one, don't stop your education with this qualification. Because what we see in practice is, so most of the students, when they are graduated with their degree, they find an employment either in the private sector or the public sector, settle down with that. But nowadays, the business organizations or the corporate leaders require professionals, right, who is updated with the latest technology, latest skills and the competencies, latest knowledge, right? Take up the leadership positions in their corporates and take the businesses forward. So therefore, you all got to ensure that you all continue to acquire the skills and competencies and the education so that you all can get into the top of the corporate ladder. Because that is the expectation of the corporate world. You all have all the skills and competencies to reach there. Therefore, what you got to do is, you got to continue to study, continue to acquire the skills and competencies that will really be required to lead the corporates in this world. Now, 2 weeks ago, we had the World Congress of Accountants. That is basically the conference of accountants working in the world. Accountants of all leading professional bodies in the world attended this conference. Around 6,500 accountants attended this conference. At this forum, or at this conference, the president of the International Federation of Accountants, so that is basically the apex body of all accounting bodies in the world, kept on telling us, not only her, couple of other, many presenters who presented their papers in our conference kept on telling us, the accountants, finance professionals, accounting graduates, so who have good knowledge in data analytics or artificial intelligence and use of analytics and intelligence to become a better accountant or better financial accountant or a better professional have a much higher demand in the corporate world today. When you compare an accountant with a basic knowledge in accounting with another accountant, professional accountant, with good knowledge in analytics or a good knowledge in artificial intelligence and use of intelligence and analytics to become a better professional, they were telling, have a much bigger demand in the corporate world. So therefore, now what is our duty, what is our responsibility? Identify what are the skills and competencies that are really necessary for us to get into the top in the corporate world. So identifying the skills and competencies required to get into the corporate world now is your responsibility. You all have the maturity, expertise, and experience to do so, because most of you are working. Whenever you all get into the corporate world, whenever you all start working, you all will identify, or you all would be in a position to identify what skills and competencies are really required to be acquired to get into the top in the corporate world. So therefore, don't stop your education with this. Continue your studies and ensure that you acquire skills and competencies and become a better professional. The second one, don't limit yourself only to accounting or the finance or to engineering. Because you all need to have a bigger dream or a bigger vision to become a role model in the global context. Now, if you have a vision, for example, if you all want to be an entrepreneur like Gautam Adani or a Bill Gates or a Ambani or a Ratan Tata, you all can be another Ambani, or you all can be the Ratan Tata, or you all can be another Bill Gates. So therefore, what you all really require is to have a bigger vision, bigger dream in your life. Don't settle down with less. Don't settle down just as an engineer, or don't settle down just as an accountant. Don't settle down just as a manager. Have a bigger vision. Because the skills and competencies you have acquired during the last 4 years from this university, at this particular age, right? Leave a massive room for you all to identify the vision or a bigger picture, or have a bigger dream, and then drive your life to achieve that dream, or drive your life to achieve that vision. Now take, for example, India. Now take, entrepreneurs in India like Gautam Adani, now third richest person in the world. And then Ambani, then Ratan Tata. 3 entrepreneurs contributing massively, contributing heavily for the global economy, introducing various products on a regular basis and offering millions of employment opportunities to the people in this world. Right? So one of you all can be, for example, entrepreneur like a Ratan Tata in another 10 years' time, or a Gautam Adani in another 10 years' time, or a Bill Gates in another 10 years' time. If you all take, say, Microsoft, or a Google, Apple, all 3 companies are managed, or the leadership for all these 3 companies are given. Leadership to all these 3 companies are given by Indians today. So therefore, what I'm suggesting, so one of you all can be CEO of Apple in 10 years' time, or one of you all can be CEO of Microsoft in another 5 years' time. So therefore, don't settle down for less. Have a bigger vision, have a bigger dream, and then drive your life to achieve that. Then you all would be in a position to contribute heavily, right, for this country and for this world. Third one, don't compromise on ethics and integrity at any cost. When you all take up the responsibilities, especially in the private sector or even in the public sector, you all might come across many instances where, right? So you all might be encouraged, you all might be forced to compromise on ethics and integrity. We are respected, recognized individuals, especially in our culture. Not only in our culture, even elsewhere. We are recognized and respected because we abide by ethics and integrity. Be honest. Don't compromise at any cost on the ethics and integrity. Be honest always. Those are three important principles, pillars, right? If you all continue to follow, right, you will definitely be a successful professional or a successful individual or a successful citizen within a very short period of time. Now, as you are aware, I believe that I was told that most of you are working at the moment. And probably some of you all might be in the process of securing good employment. But what you got to understand, as I earlier said, the local context, right? Local context, I mean the challenges in the local context, they still exist. The inflation is said to be around 70%, right? The inflation is still said to be around 70%. We are still having power cut. Now taxes have been increased. The new tax rates will be effective from 1st of January. And then substantial portion of his salary would be deducted by way of taxes. So there will be a lot of challenges in the local context. But whenever you take up a position in the private sector or the public sector, consider these challenges as opportunities. Consider these challenges as opportunities. Because due to various reasons, many professionals and skilled employees of our country or the skilled people of our country have left the country for overseas employment. It's like every other day now in my institute. In our institute, every month, we issue around 100 to 150 good standing letters for our members to go for overseas employment. Now, last September, so we had our convocation. Around 358, the students basically completed their examination and were admitted as members of the institute or as chartered accountants. Out of that 350 odd chartered accountants, around 200 odd have already gone for overseas employment. So that is the status. So therefore, there are plenty of employment opportunities available in the market at the moment. Plenty of opportunities are available. It's like every other day I used to get a SMS or an email or a telephone call or a WhatsApp message asking, Sanjaya, can you recommend? There are a few vacancies in our organization or a CFO or a finance manager, finance controller. Can you recommend somebody? That is the extent to which the vacancies in my profession are available. I'm well aware that vacancies in other professions also are available like that. Now, for example, a couple of known clients of mine used to tell me, Sanjay, so there are many vacancies available for software engineers or engineers. So therefore, there are plenty of opportunities available in the local market. But again, what you got to understand is there are plenty of challenges that exist in today's environment. So therefore, consider these challenges as opportunities and be agile, be a versatile professional. This agility or ability to work in the stressful environment or environment like this will help you to become a professional who can work anywhere in the world under any circumstances. The next important point I should stress here is, now I have been repeatedly telling this, we all are experiencing, in the sense, all Sri Lankans are still experiencing many challenges, many difficulties, many issues. Every day, like 2.5 hours of power cut. And, high interest rate, higher tax rate, etc., etc. But this is the time our country requires the support of each and every one of us. If Sri Lanka to come out of this crisis, so each and every one of us should support this country. So we can always find fault with politicians or various other officials. But again, if we continue to find fault with politicians and other officials and not take any actions, or not support this country to come out of this issue, right? So we will never be able to see Sri Lanka coming out of this crisis. So therefore, this is the time our country, our nation, our motherland require support of each and every one of us. So therefore, leaving aside all these differences, I believe that we should get together, we should work together, and we should help this country fly away out of this crisis. So therefore, my request for all of you, right, leave aside all these differences. Now, I have seen this difference. Now, I used to travel a lot to India for various meetings. Now, if you go and speak to India, I have never met an Indian, right, criticizing their country or criticizing their government or criticizing basically their country, right? When you speak to Sri Lanka, always, so no point of staying in this country. Now, we should immediately leave, right? So therefore, there's a significant difference in how we think about our country, our nation, our motherland, compared with say for example, our neighboring country. How, say for example, Indians think about their country. They always see good side of their country. They always think about how they could develop their country. So therefore, why not we also think why not we change our thinking pattern? Why not we also think in the same pattern? Why not we think how best we can, get together and support this country to come out of this crisis? Therefore, my request for all of you, right? As I said, this is the time our country requires your support. Then we'll work together and we'll support this country to come out of this crisis so we all, our parents, right, and our family members and all citizens of this country have a peaceful life in this country. So let me conclude my speech with a small quote from John F. Kennedy. Quote: "Don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country." Unquote. He says, don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Unquote. So with that, let me once again congratulate all of you and wish you all the best and good luck. Thank you.